Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Manju Pawar from BPS Women University, Sonipat, Haryana. Today we are going to talk on the module Community Involvement in the Implementation of National Food Security Act from the paper Human Resource Development through Community Engagement. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand the concept of food security in India and its features, the challenges faced by communities while implementing the National Food Security Act, and in the last we will discuss the strategies to be adopted for solving food problem in India. India is one of the largest producers of food grains in the world, feeding 17% of the world population. In order to expand and ensure that food should be available to each and every household, both central as well as the state government have been implementing various schemes like Anodya Anna Yojana, Annapurna, Integrated Child Development Services like ICDS, and midday meal schemes and others. It is a matter of grave concern that despite of many schemes and programs to ensure food to people, nearly half of the population still suffer from chronic hunger and undernutrition. With over 200 million people are not sure about their daily bread, 50% of our children are undernourished and about 68 out of 1000 dying before the age of 1 year. According to Food Policy Research Institute, that is IFPRI, that India has made a slow progress towards ensuring food security to its people. In India, where a large number of people live below poverty line and the level of malnutrition is also very high, it is hoped that the implementation of the National Food Security Act will reduce or rather eliminate these problems in the country. The global food security challenge is definite. By 2050, the world must feed 9 billion people. To feed those hungry mouths, the demand for food will be 60% greater than it is today. The UN has set ending hunger and achieving food security and promoting sustainable agriculture as the second of its 17 sustainable development goals by the year 2030. Now we will talk about the meaning of food security. Food security exists when all people at all times have physical, social and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food which meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. This definition is given by FAO in 1996. According to Hem Belos in the year 2003, that a community is food secure when everyone obtains a safe, personally acceptable, nutritious diet through a sustainable food system that maximizes self-reliance and social justice. Now, what the Food Security Standing Committee says? According to Food Security Standing Committee in the year 2004 says that food security means food is produced, processed and distributed in a manner that does not compromise the land, air or water for future generations. Now, students, we must know what are the elements of food security. There are 4 elements of food security. According to OSTRI, that food security in our communities is dependent upon following 4 elements. 1. Availability of food. In this point, the quantity of food available to the population. 2. Stability of food supply, that is the reliability of our food sources over time. Number 3. Accessibility of food, that is the ease with which food may be obtained. And 4th, which is the last one, utilization of food, that is the ability and desire to make use of food in terms of capability, skill and acceptability. Food security has been the major development purpose in India since the beginning of planning. India has achieved self-sufficiency in food grains in 1970 and has persisted it in since then. But the achievement of food grain security at the national level did not penetrate down to the household and the level of chronic food insecurity is still high. Over 225 million Indians remain constantly undernourished. In 2000 and 2001, about half of the rural children below 5 years of age suffered from malnutrition and 40% of adults suffered from chronic energy deficiency. It is a cause of concern of wasting away of human resources. Now, we will discuss the silent features of National Food Security Act. Food security is a major concern and top priority of the government today. National Food Security Act is perhaps the first of its after Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act and an important landmark legislation which will empower 82 crore Indians with the legal right to food and will serve as a protection to fight against malnutrition and deficiency. Jean Reyes, an economist, is of the view that nearly 70% of the households in Bihar went to bed as compared to the average of 25% in other states. The Food Security Act will cover nearly 87% of the rural poor, which is almost universal coverage of National Food Security Act. Now we will discuss some of the relevant features of this act. The first feature of this act is the eligible household. The Food Security Bill promises 75% of the rural population and 50% of urban households with focus on nutritional needs of the children, pregnant and lactating women the right to 7 kg food grains per person at rupees 3 per kg for rice, rupees 2 kg for wheat and rupees 1 per kg for coarse grains to the priority beneficiaries. The general category will be provided at least 3 kilometers of food grains per person per month at half the minimum selling price. It provides for food and nutritional security to identify beneficiaries of the priority households through the targeted public distribution system. Another feature of this act is that it provides for nutrition support to pregnant and lactating mothers and maternity benefit to less than rupees 6,000 in installments. Every pregnant and lactating mother is entitled to a free meal at local Anganwadis as well as maternity benefits of rupees 6,000 in installment. About 2 crore pregnant women and lactating mothers are expected to benefit from the legislation that proposed to give rupees 1,000 per month for 6 months as maternity benefit. The bill also holds great promises for children. Children in the lower and upper primary classes would be entitled to midday meals as per the prescribed nutritional norms. Children suffering from malnutrition, those covered by midday meals, persons from Anodya Yojana and priority households will be included as beneficiaries. The bill will also provide rations or cooked meals to children under 14 years of age, destitute including women and persons on margins of the society. Female members will be treated as head of the household. This is the important feature of this act. Aiming to empower women, the bill also proposes that the ration card will be issued to the eldest female member of the family. Now, another feature of the National Food Security Act is the transparency and grievances redressal. As far as the transparency and grievances redressal is concerned, this act provides for a two-tier grievances redressal structure involving the district grievances redressal officer and state food commission. Mandatory transparency provision include placing all the public distribution system related records in the public domain. Second, conducting social audits of the public distribution system and other welfare schemes. And number 3, using information and communication technology to ensure transparent recording of transactions at all levels. Number 4, setting up the vigilance committees at all levels to supervise all schemes under the Act. District grievances redressal officer shall be appointed by state government for each district to hear complaints and take necessary action according to norms to be prescribed by state government. The food commissions have powers to impose penalties if the an order is not compiled with concerned authority or officer, can be fined up to rupees 5,000. In case non-supply of the entitled quantities of food grains or meals to entitled persons, such persons will be entitled to a food security allowance from the state government as prescribed by the central government. The main obligation of the state government is to implement the relevant schemes in accordance with the central government guidelines. State government also have wide-ranging powers to make rules. Now, students, we must know what are the challenges related to this act. Though National Food Security Act provides food and nutritional security in human life cycle approach by ensuring access to adequate quantity of quality food at affordable prices to people to live with dignity both in the rural and urban areas. This is in fact unparalleled across the world. However, there are some challenges before its implementation which we will discuss now. The first challenge is the inadequate storage facilities. This act says that for efficient operations of the targeted public distribution system, that is TPDS, every state government shall create and maintain scientific storage facilities at the state, district and block levels, being sufficient to accommodate food grains. It is in this context, Jean Reyes, that is a very important economist, mentioned that in the last 10 years, there has been lot of wastage of food grains, with nearly 500 lakh tons of food grains rotting in the godowns. Keeping this problem in view, it is a great challenge before the government to make available adequate storage facilities, that too in decentralized manner in the countryside. Second challenge is related to the Panchayati Raj institutions. Local authorities and Panchayati Raj institutions are responsible for proper implementation of the Act in their respective areas and may be given additional responsibilities. Local authorities have been made responsible for implementing the provisions related to this Act without knowing their strength. In fact, it has become a fashion whenever either state government or central government announce any new schemes or programs, every time responsibility lie on the shoulders of the panchayat without realizing their capacities and culture of their governance in local setting. No doubt, panchayats can play a very important role in the implementation of the schemes and programs, but at the same time they need to be empowered and their roles and responsibilities should be clearly defined, rather thinking that panchayats are panacea for every problem relating to the rural areas. Now, the grassroots realities reveal by various studies that panchayats have not played much role in preparation of the prospective plans and their implementation. The main reason is their capacity in terms of lack of functional, financial and administrative autonomy. Although poor people in terms of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes are members and chairperson of these bodies, they rarely played any role. Only elite of the villages hold the balance in the matter of local governance. Similarly, is the position of Gram Sabha. This body is the head and heart of the entire system of Panchayati Raj system, but its meeting hardly take place and participation of women and weaker section is also negligible. It is greatest challenge as how to make these bodies empowered and active for effective implementation of the National Food Security Act. Another challenge is the problem of identification of beneficiaries. According to Act, only identified eligible household will get food grains, but the grassroots reality showed that there have been large scale errors in the identification of BPL families. It has been found that identification of eligible household is not done properly. It has been observed in the field that deserving families are kept out from taking benefits under this Act because they were not included in the BPL families during survey. Declaring a family BPL remained mostly in the hands of Sarpanch. BPL cards are only given to those families who are near and dear ones to Sarpanch, and as a result, families where there is a dire need of food remain left. Lack of awareness about this Act is another challenge. It is pertinent to mention here that Bhagat Phool Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Khanpur Kalan, Sonipat organized a workshop on the implementation of food security in Haryana, where Sarpanches of 35 Gram Panchayats of Gohana Block, Sonipat district participated. None of the women Sarpanch participated in this workshop. The main objective of this workshop was to discuss the issues related to food security and how far our panchayats are capable enough to implement the National Food Security Act in Haryana. It was astonishing to find that none of the Gram Panchayat was aware about this act, as fieldwork is the heart and soul of the department's social work, and students go to the nearby villages for conducting their fieldwork assignments. It was found that by students that during fieldwork survey there is a lack of awareness among people, particularly women, about the schemes and programs implemented by central as well as state government. Keeping this in view, it will be challenging task for the government to make the people aware not only about food security act but also the schemes and programs being implemented by central as well as state government. This act has taken a welcome step in women empowerment by giving due importance to women. It is mentioned in the act that eldest women who is not less than 18 years of age in every household shall be head of the household for the purpose of issue of ration cards. Further, preference to public institutions or public bodies such as panchayat, self-help group, cooperatives in licensing the fair price shops and management of fair price shop by women and their collective should be given as per the act. Not only SHGs but other community based organizations like Saksha Mahila Samoh, Mahila Mandal, Youth Club, etc. forms social capital and can play a very important role in awareness generation and effective implementation of the food security. But the unfortunate part is that due to the lack of social mobilization and guidance, they are directionless and remain only on paper. It has been found in the research work that these have been formed by the officials without any social mobilization. Forming self-help group in such a way does not make the women collection of individual but not the group. Hence, it is also a major challenge before the government to make these groups effective and active for effective implementation of the National Food Security Act. Now, we will discuss some of the measures to solve the food problem. The Government of India has been expected to solve the problem of food in the country. Both central and state governments have been taking strong steps to solve the food problem in India. Now, we will discuss in details the measures that may be taken for solving the food problem in India. It has been observed that shortfall in the internal production and high prices of food grains are the two major problems of food insecurity. Due to internal shortage of production and increased demand for food result in the rise of prices of food grains. Keeping in mind the shortfall of the internal production, government has made efforts in increasing imports of food grains from other countries. Between 1961 and 1966, approximately 35 million tons of food grains were imported from other countries. During that period, India had become the biggest importer of food grains in the whole world. Another step taken by the government is the procurement of foodstuffs within the country. Some of the states which have surplus food, for example, Punjab has surplus wheat and Andhra Pradesh has surplus rice. Apart from this, we find in each state large farmers and landlords who procure more food grains than the market, keep the food grains safe and sell when the prices go up. In order to secure food grains, a state government accumulates some quantity of food grains from each farmer who procures more than his consumption. This collection is known as procurement of food grains. In recent years, the state government have increased their procurement. Another measure that the government of India has taken, the government has set the prices of food grains both for wholesale and retail trade. Through the setting up of the fair price shops throughout the country, government sells its stock of food grains. As a result, fair price shops help to grip down the prices and provide essential food grains to low income groups at reasonable low prices. The fair price shops are actually meant for the low income groups in the country. Apart from fair price shops, the government had introduced rationing in urban areas under which a minimum quantity of food grains is assured to every person and family in a town. Wholesale dealers in food grains were licensed in many states to check prices to eliminate hoarding and collection of more than consumption in food grains trade. This is the important measure that the Government of India has taken. In addition to this, traders were asked to declare their stocks in order to stop hoarding and proliferating. In this way, the Government of India, in cooperation with the state government, has taken various steps to solve the food problem in a short period. Now, the another measure to solve the food problem in India is the increase in agricultural production. Both central as well as state government, in order to increase food production, promote regular water supply, high yielding varieties of seeds, advocate quantities of fertilizers, pesticides and latest agriculture equipments. The farmers get sufficient amount of credit to help them to purchase latest technology. This results in showing great interest among the farmers to use new technology for further food production. Another innovative new agriculture strategy is to raise double cropping. This is to be done through the use of quick yielding varieties of seeds. With this double cropping system, it is possible to raise 2 crops in a year or even 3 crops. The new agriculture strategy has helped in a green revolution. Another measure is the control of population. It is imperative to understand here that there is a need to reduce the growing population. If the population is not stopped, then efforts of the government will become useless and the food problem cannot be solved at all. There is no doubt that government has been putting various methods to check population growth, but both in rural and urban areas, there is more to be done. Legislation of abortion is a step towards controlling of population. Another measure is changing food habits. Another strategy can be used for ensuring food grains is the changing of food habits of the people. No doubt, cereals prevail in the food of all of our people of all the classes. It will be useful if the richer classes consume less of cereals and more of protective foods like eggs, fish, meat, fruit, vegetables, etc. And the poor classes are convinced to take less of wheat and rice and more of coarse grains, papaya, sweet potatoes, etc. Now, to conclude, it may be said that national food security will meet a goal set by Mahatma Gandhi ji for independent India. The God of bread should bless every home and hut. However, to realize this goal, it is imperative that both supply side of its implementation, like strengthening Panchayati Raj system, advocate food grains storage, and demand side like organizing community into groups, their networking and ultimately forming social capital have to be done. Here, the role of social entrepreneurs is very important to build up social capital, which in turn will also strengthen the supply side of its implementation. If it happens, it leads to effective right to food campaign across the country by way of mobilizing the people, particularly vulnerable sections of the rural areas. Thank you.